and some people just should not be behind the wheel at all. I won't get into that this morning, but it is what it is. Everybody drives the way they're going to drive. They think it's right. It may not be right. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so somebody's blowing a lot of smoke coming out of the roundabout. I know. No, seriously, there's a lot of smoke over there. I don't know what it is. There's a car in front that's got like a bunch of smoke. It messes everything up. Like people get all confused that it's a yield. There's no stop sign there. Like, you're supposed to leave a gap in between the cars, right? Like you're running bumper to bumper. That means somebody messed up. Somebody messed up if you're running bumper to bumper. But we getting into our day, starting it up. Had some fun with the ducks this morning. So we're going to be back at it. Like most of the wire wheel is done, so we're gonna be into a little bit of wire wheel today, a couple hours, and then it's going to be all applying Chemchromic, putting back the flashing after I get it all primed out with Chemchromic, because that's a good rust prevention emulsifier inhibitor. We run things pretty good the way that you're supposed to. Manufacturer's recommendations. I got to try to start figuring out how to make it flash on the screen, right? Like put it up in the corner up over here or something like that. I'm no editor. I'm not. I'm barely savvy at the computer, so everything takes time. I'm trying to find a program that'll make my estimates look a little bit better. I'm still old school, kind of just like typing everything out individually. It takes me a little bit. I don't like how long it takes, but like I try to do things and merge and share and all that stuff. Can't quite figure it out. I'm getting there though, slow. But technology, it's going to be the death of us. So, when we get there, same as usual, I take a minute, I set up, I go take some pictures, check some things out, go over where I've already worked, get my head into the game. Looks like it's going to be another sunny one. So, we're out on there. Roof metal is generally above 110 degrees. Weather might be like 80 some odd, but it's just cooking. I got some good feedback on the last roof that just got finished in the same area. Homeowner has returned. I guess he's got a temperature gauge inside the house. I know I do. It's not shocking or anything. But the work I did, the amount of coating I put on, he says he noticed at least 6 degrees. At least 6 degrees. And then, mind you, keep in mind, this roof, it's probably over 20 years old, right? It still looked pretty good. I've got a few videos on that, so go check it out. TTT Industries. I'm all over the place. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, like all that stuff. So we're gonna get at it. When you read the MSDS sheets and you figure out that you're supposed to be putting this much paint on instead of this much paint on, there's going to be dramatic differences, including in the price by some, because I do not go by the max coverage square footage, because that is going to be your thinnest, right? There's all kinds of information in there, all kinds. It tells you 3 different temperatures, what it's going to dry to touch, to recoat, and then there's little blurbs in there, right? Thickness and temperature may vary in these times, right? And then they give you a scope of that. So within that information package, it has how thick it's supposed to go on, and then there's you have to do the math on that, right? So if the standard on the gallon can says that it's going to cover 300 square feet per gallon, okay, that's at a certain thickness, right? So You can spread it out more, you can spread it out less. That number's going to change. But when you're reading the MSDS sheets, or actually it's not, within the MSDS sheets, there's a product data sheet. That is where you're going to find these measurements. And like I said, I need to figure out how to flash them up over here and do all that stuff. But it is what it is. So we TTT Industries, I follow the rules where it says to get warranty, right? So different products going to have different thicknesses. Acrylics, well, I use acrylics most. It's 6 to 8 mils as your finish coat, not 2 to 4. Like that's a fourth of a coat or a half a coat, right? Because you put the material down at double what you want it to dry to. There's gauges for that as well. I have a wet mill gauge. It's a stainless steel card. It has a bunch of notches on it. That's how you do that. So, you want more information that everybody can find, I guess I'm doling out free information here that could be helpful. These are some questions that you may want to ask the person who's applying coating on your roof. What products are you putting down? Can I see the product data sheet? Do you have the MSDS sheet? Like, how thick does this coating need to go on so that way it works? Like, I mean, there's all this other stuff. So, just because you can apply paint doesn't mean you're a painter.